The league season is now over. Everywhere in Europe, from England to Spain to Italy to Germany, to the Netherlands to Portugal to Turkey, everywhere in Europe now, the league season is over. But of course, let's talk about the English Premier League, the match day 38, how it all went down. And of course, there is only one place to start, and that's definitely with the Chelsea fans. I mean, now come on.
I like where you're starting from. You're starting from the important ones.
I mean, I think if I were a Chelsea fan and 1 to 9 goes to Europe and my team doesn't go, I think I'll feel really
that
bad.
Is the result of betrayal. They are Judas. I would forget why they wanted to play Man City. No, let them beat us. We are as long as Arsenal doesn't win the league. We don't care about Europe.
The only reason why we said that time was because we just wanted. It's not like it was came from us. It didn't come from our hearts. We just said it outside.
Chelsea were really struggling to get into the Conference League. Now, this is the thing. They needed Manchester United to do them a favor. Even I didn't believe that Manchester United was going to, because Brighton, I think in the last 2 seasons, Brighton have been beating Manchester United home and away. So I didn't even believe that with a game that is a dead rubber game for Manchester United and a game that Brighton actually needs to qualify for Europe, I didn't believe that Manchester United was going to be able to beat Brighton. So, but they needed Manchester United to do them that favor. And then once Manchester United do them the favor, all they needed was to go and draw against.
Even Liverpool did them another favor by drawing Brentford.
All they needed was to go and draw.
Just draw. Just 1 point.
Does that highlight how pardon me for this one, how useless Chelsea has been this season? That you need a draw against Sunderland, like you are practically dragging a European place with Sunderland, Brighton, and Brighton and Sunderland gets it above.
Well, one thing is, as Chelsea fans, we are very happy that we are not good for Europe this season. No, it's because we want to reset next season.
Just like Manchester United.
We play one game per week.
Yeah.
One thing is, as Chelsea fans, we are very happy that we are not good for Europe this season. No, it's because we want to reset next season.
Just like Manchester United.
We play one game per week.
Yes.
So we definitely
Chelsea are the new stay-at-home mom. Manchester United was the stay-at-home mom for last season.
I want to give credit to some Chelsea players. You know, whenever we need them to turn up, they used to turn up. The first person is Robert Sanchez. That yesterday. That first goal. No, Sanchez really tried. But oh my God. The second person is Malogusto. The one it matters most, those 2 guys, they used to turn on for me. Then the third person is Wesley Fofana. Thank you guys. You did well.
But seriously, I think the end of the season shows how disastrous the Chelsea season had been. That they needed to get a draw against Sunderland to get into the Conference League. And they couldn't even do that.
It's really been a very, very disastrous season, like I said, for Chelsea, and it's one of the reasons why if you're playing a football game, like if you're playing a season and you're changing coaches 3-4 times in a season, it's not like that shows you're not having a good season. It shows you're having an average season.
If you count McFarlane twice, they had 4 coaches.
Yes. I'm happy it turned out this way for them. Not because I'm an Arsenal fan. This is not we doing banter. You can't be playing rubbish just because you want to sack a coach. And respect yourself to have good luck in your
Now, the sacking of Maresca looks really foolish now.
I think my staff forces we have personally. He had that agreement. It was leaked. Instead of him to still look for a way to cushion that effect, he was still doing Stranga. So I think that was the issue he had with the Chelsea management. But when Rosnell came in, it was so obvious, probably after his 5th match, this guy stopped playing for him. All the name that you want to sack Rosnell, Chelsea played, I think, 4 or 5 matches, 7 goals. 0
6
goals scored.
consecutive losses.
And they lost a lot
Was it
of
5?
matches. So, just because you want to sack a coach. But I'm happy with everything that happened. And then at the end of the day, Parma will miss the World Cup. Not because of injury, because of performance. João Pedro is missing the World Cup now. And Wesley Fofana is missing the World Cup. Some key players that are meant to be in the World Cup squad, they are missing the World Cup. They won't be playing in Europe next season. So they won't be playing in Europe next season. And lastly, they have huge number of years on their contract. It's not as if it will be easy for any one of them to leave the club. So they
will have to stay and fix it.
I'm telling you, it won't be easy for any of them to leave. We are hearing rumors of Deco coming to England, probably inquiring about João Pedro. I'm telling people that he has a lot of years in his contract. It's not as any player can go, but it won't be an easy going.
It's not like we want to sell any players as well. So I don't think Chelsea wants to sell any players. I think the players will definitely fight.
How can Alonso sort this mess out? Because it feels like a real mess down there at Stamford Bridge. What does he need to do first?
Well, I think for Alonso, he's faced something like this before. When he was at Bayer Leverkusen, Bayer Leverkusen they're not that team that they were competing very well for the Bundesliga.
But they were not tense.
Yeah, they're not tense. If you look at this team doesn't. If you look at this team on paper, they don't look like a team that should be finishing 10th.
I'm telling you,
they don't look like a team that should be finishing.
That's what I was saying. I think
that's what it will bring. It will bring out from there. It will bring out the best out of these players from when next season when it takes charge of this team next.
Chelsea is not a bad team, honestly. I think all Alonso
they've got some decent players.
And
just fix here and there.
I just think one of the first things to do is to call the leaders of the team. Have a meeting with the leaders of the team.
Who are even the leaders?
The likes of Rhys James, Enzo Fernandes, João Pedro, just call some of the leaders. Kopama and the likes. Have a meeting with them. Discuss a lot of important things with them. Know what they want. Just have heart talk with them. Then once everything has been settled, then Chelsea is still a very good team.
But also, let's talk about the decision making. Okay, you want to?
Yes, I said let's not forget that even before January, I think around December or January, I think Man was in 8th, Chelsea was still around top 4.
Yes.
So everything just switched. It was like a substitution method.
When Amorim was fired, Manchester United was 6th, Chelsea was 5th.
So Manchester United now is now 3rd, Chelsea is 10th. So look at it.
I want to say something also. Number one thing that for me that Alonso needs to do is send Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen packing. But also, I want to say that it's not Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen's fault. Now, I feel like also the decision making of the Chelsea management has been poor, especially in this goalkeeping situation. Yes. They sent 2 goalkeepers out last season. At the beginning of last season, they were better than the 2 goalkeepers they kept. Petrovic at Bournemouth has been amazing. Yes. This guy was at Chelsea, was even at some point their first choice goalkeeper before they loaned him out to Strasbourg and then brought in Sanchez. Kepa Arrizabalaga, we saw him in between the sticks for Arsenal yesterday. He was still decent than any goalkeeper that Chelsea has had this season. So how do you send good goalkeepers out and retain the less quality ones? It shows that this even comes from the decision making from the board. So he has to, I don't know, maybe they will hand over the transfer business to Alonso, because it looks like
he was employed as a manager.
The board, he was employed as a manager, so you have a say over transfers, because the board right now looks like they cannot take a good decision. I mean, how do you let go of Madueke?
João Felix.
Let's go of Nkunku, let go of Nicolas Jackson, and go and bring in
Garnacho,
go and bring in Gittins, go and get in
Facundo
Nadella, like what's the meaning of that? So it's been a mess right from the management, from the board to the players to the managers they brought in. Hopefully Alonso can sort this mess out. But then it is what it is. For Chelsea, They needed to finish ninth. I mean, that thing, if I was a Chelsea fan, I don't know how I'd be feeling. Like, they needed to finish ninth.
They lost some careless games. For example, the most painful was against Forest.
They needed to finish ninth. Forest
they played against Team B. Forest
rested 8 players from
Awuni has never started prior to that game. I think he did start a game for over a year. And he scored 2 goals.
I think that Forest man, what actually destabilized our players was the injury to the 18-year-old boy that actually came in. I think that was what destabilized the boys.
Stop out.
Because that was a very, very horrific injury. And
David. Okay, but then it is what it is. It's seed for Chelsea. Well, let's talk about another surprise. Sunderland. Last season in the Championship. At the end of this season, they are going to the Europa League. I mean, I was saying when the nominees for the Manager of the Month Manager of the Season came out that, hey, maybe Adoni Raiola, maybe
Mikel
Arteta, some even said Michael Carrick. But then what this guy has done, taking Sunderland from the Championship to Europe, all within one season, you've got to give him some credit.
Honestly, for Regis Lebris, he's done absolutely well for Sunderland. Because if you look at it, they came into the Premier League, and one thing was they don't get relegated. That was the objective. Don't get relegated. And he's surpassed the objective. He's not only surpassed it, he's gone higher than the objective that was set for him at the beginning of the season. And honestly, after giving kudos to Regis Lebris, another player I want to give kudos to within that team has to be Granit Xhaka. I think whoever got that sign, whoever scouted, whoever said,
no, that's what I want to say.
You need to give
huge aside from the coach.
They have to give me huge.
We need to give huge credit to their scouting network. They did some signings at the beginning. See, if you want to talk about
they brought in about 8
or 9 players.
But those players
were all outstanding.
Nicolas Sadiki.
So that's what I want to talk because how many teams in Europe have the capacity to sign 8 or 9 players in the transfer window? Even in Europe, aside from the top elite ones. So even though we are crediting the coach because he tried, please let's give credit to the scouting network. Because I noticed some small teams have a very good scouting. They hardly buy and miss. Talking about, look at them for example, talking about Brentford too. You hardly see Brentford sign a flop. Talk about Brighton and Overbion. These people, I don't know how even their manager recruitment, they just bring one useless manager. You haven't even had the name before, and you'll be terrorizing the Premier League with some patterns, some styles of football you've never seen before. And I'm telling you, right for past 4 or 5 years, Brighton has been playing the same tactics now with different coaches. So coming to Sunderland, I think their scouting network did a very great job. They bought energetic, black, and fast players. Yes, now most of them were blacks.
Yeah.
And they bought a leader in Granit Xhaka.
All right. Before we go to the guys at the top, I mean, we're going to talk about some farewells, but then let's talk about those at the bottom. West Ham relegated. That was painful for me personally.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you can feel 2 things at the same time. I mean, I was pained for West Ham, but I was also happy for Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, Zerbi came to a sinking ship. If I see a ship that practically was sunk, and told them I can bring you back above waters. And he did exactly that.
Definitely. I think for West Ham, I think I'll start with West Ham United. Honestly, I think it's been coming for West Ham United. I mean, when they won the UEFA Conference League, they were not playing good football. Yes. With their team, they said, "Oh, David Moyes is not playing good football.
Sexy football."
They said they needed someone that can bring in, they want to play good football.
They employed
Graham Potter.
I think
it was Spanish.
They played one Spanish. It was because he had a very disastrous season. Then they employed Graham Potter. They employed Graham Potter this season. It was very, very bad that it looked like those players didn't know how to play football again. That's how it felt like.
Nuno tried.
Yeah, Nuno tried.
He really tried.
Nuno tried. He tried bringing them back up, but then I think the deed had already been done. They had lost too many games for them to recover again.
All right,
And
now
I think one of that thing is they sold too much. The quality of the players they sold and the quality of players they brought in was not to the par. They sold a leader like Declan Rice. They sold Kudus.
Kudus to Tottenham.
I think they sold one striker too. There was a striker that left the club.
But
Mikel
Antonio left. I think they sold.
And the quality of players they brought in, were they up to the standard of those that left? I think these are some of those things that counted.
I think it was eventually January transfer.
Yeah, it was in January.
They were able to bring
strikers,
players that actually eventually
Castellanos in, they brought Pablo in, but Pablo couldn't do anything for West Ham United, and right now there's no Yahoo for him to.
Oh, well, all right, let's talk about the guys at the top. And I want to start with Manchester United. It was a dead rubber game. Did Carrick show a glimpse of what next season is going to be for Manchester United? In the sense that before the game, when the lineup was out, a journalist interviewed Michael Carrick and asked him why the strong lineup. I mean, this is a dead rubber game. You're not fighting for anything. Maybe you should have given the kids some chance. And he said that's exactly is the problem with the mentality that has been with this club. That every game for Manchester United is a must-win game. That you don't go into any game with a weaker team. You don't go into any game hoping to draw or hoping to just maintain. You go into every game to try and win it. And that even though he doesn't need the 3 points, he's still going into this game. And we saw how you demolished, got 3 points that he didn't need, got 3 goals that he didn't need. But because it is that the kind of mentality that Michael Carrick is bringing on board next.
It's right, and at the same time, it's wrong.
Okay.
As I like the fact that he went there to get a win, and he got the win. But him telling us that every game you have to win, every game you have to.
No, it's not you have to win, but you have to go into the game
with
at
your strong team, with your best team.
To
win
every
game you're going with your best team.
You don't win league now. So
no, let's be honest with ourselves.
So is that what he will learn next season?
Yes, he will learn what we learn. The Champions League gets 4 competitions in a season. You know that at times there's something we call skill of preference.
What about if you have a good team that everybody is good?
It's not possible. There will still be replacements, there will be starters. Every team has a replacement and starters. Every team. Even when City was City, there are some untouchable. When Chelsea was Chelsea, there's no replacement you can compare with Kante. There's no player you can compare with Jogi. You can't compare with Hazard. So for every team, there's always a starter and a replacement. And you can't want to play Champions League semi-final against probably a PSG or a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, a Bayern Munich. I want to play Burnley or All City in the league, and you still put your best team. And probably you are in a comfortable position in the league already. It's not as if probably you're under pressure. So at times you got to apply wisdom. That's why I said it's right, and at the same time it might also be wrong. So because once the pressure is coming in, you start have to. Okay, I remember some previous seasons. Aside from this season, Arteta used to sacrifice FA and Carling Cup for Arsenal. We used to compete only the league and the Champions League. Probably the second or the third game in both cups, Arsenal will be out already. Just to focus on the league and the Champions League. And it was because of that at times when we now lose everything at the end of the downside, we fought on those for this season, at least to some extent.
I mean, Arsenal got to the final, got to the semi-final.
Yeah, so that at least if the main target are not going to work out, at least there should be some backups like Plan B. So, and at least
so it's going to learn the hard way next.
He will learn in stresses.
That you don't go into every match with your full focus.
There are times there are some players that you have to manage. You have to manage their time. Look at Zubimendi this season. At some point, Zubimendi became a Nigerian league level footballer.
Because he had played enough.
Yes, he played. I think at some point we counted like 48 consecutives.
But let's talk about Bruno Fernandes. 21 assists, the highest ever in the Premier League, in a league of his own. I mean, what season he has had. Already the Football Writers Association Player of the Season. Already the official Premier League Player of the Season. Only the PFA, the Players Football Association Player of the Season is left. I mean, with that 21st assist, I mean, what can we say?
Well, Premier League down. Next season.
You see, Bruno Fernandes, I think so far, if we'll be honest, is the best player in the league this season. And one of the best in Europe. No, but
I thought they were saying Declan Rice.
no, I'm coming.
But can we also say
coming.
that this season? Okay, let me.
But there has been some inconsistencies when it comes to the Premier League.
Okay.
I remember the 2015-2016 seasons. Mesut Ozil had 19 assists. Mesut Ozil also created a record of the highest chances created till now. Is still active. I think 148 or so. Bruno had 132. I think Bruno is the third or fourth, and it's this season. He had 148 chances created. I think it was probably the sixth or the seventh when it comes to the PFA best player of the season, just because Arsenal didn't win the league, and Arsenal was second. And the PFA was given to Riyad Mahrez.
But Riyad Mahrez was in the title winning team, right?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
And he
was active. Yes, I know it was active. I know it wasn't bad. So, but Arsenal also have a player that was active that wasn't really bad at the same time.
You had 2-3. You don't have one. But no, Arsenal fans say Declan Rice. Some will say Raya. Some will say
I'm coming. That nomination that season, Vardy was nominated. Kante was nominated. Mahrez was also nominated. So we are Arsenal having 3 players shortlisted should not be. See, that's why I started with. If we'd be honest, Fernandes are the best when it comes to the player in the Premier League. I'm telling you, let's be honest. When it comes to, at least, if you want to check, metrics, stats, when it comes for an attacking player. So, but there has been several inconsistencies when it comes to the Premier League. So, all
right. Let's now talk about the farewells. I mean, at Manchester City, I think Manchester City had the most of the farewells. We had Pep Guardiola leaving. We had John Stones. I mean, after the game, like 1 hour after the game, they were still doing another ceremony at the Etihad. Pep leaving, John Stones, Bernardo Silva. It feels like a new era entirely coming in at City. An era without Pep, which is big. An era without John Stones at the back, of course. For a while now, he hasn't been active. But most importantly, an era without Bernardo Silva. A man who, from the point he came in through the door to the moment he left, he was a regular starter. A season without Bernardo Silva.
I mean, if you look at, I think this season has been the season with the most farewells in the Premier League, actually. In the Premier League, United, I think
Dogo, Casemiro,
Liverpool,
Brentford, Manchester City. So it feels like a new era is actually coming into the Premier League.
Even Bournemouth,
But if you are talking about City right
Crystal
now,
Palace also did.
I think for City, definitely a new era is coming into Manchester City, and with that new era comes uncertainties as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we already be staying because there are talks about Rodri.
No, I think he even romanced Real Madrid in January. January transfer. But I think if you leave City, his favourite should be Real Madrid. They love Real Madrid and things like that.
He's a Spaniard. He could be trying to go back to, and he has also lived in the city before.
So it's more like Pep was the reason why most of these players came and why they were still there. Now that Pep has left, can the next coach can he bring in the same thing Pep brought in?
And another thing I wanted to also talk about Pep leaving now, apart from the players, is that when Ferguson retired at Manchester United suffered something. Big players, world-class players, didn't want to come to Manchester United again. Yes. Ferguson was the pull.
Yes, sure.
I remember there was a whole summer where they said Cruz will come. They said Thiago Alcantara will come. Eventually, Nafelani from Boyes former club, eventually, Pitima you joined. Because, most of these clubs just couldn't see themselves, most of these big players just couldn't see themselves playing under David Moyes. Some were even asking, I think Tony Cruz said he asked, who is David Moyes? Now, will that pool that Pep has for players, I mean, I can say that players like Brot Haaland probably joined Manchester City because he wanted to play. You will hear them say to join this team, to play on that.
Even at some point, Pep almost influenced Declan Rice. He almost influenced
even Bruno Fernandes as well.
Yeah,
Ronaldo as well. There are players that Pep wanted to use him to actually bring. So
how much of a miss would that be for Manchester City? The fact that they don't have the Pep pool again.
It's very.
I mean, how many players actually dream like they sleep when they were small and they wake up and their dream is to play under Enzo Maresca?
But I think they'll still use their financial strength to
Definitely.
some players in. But then Pep is Pep.
For Liverpool, end of an era. Well, Robertson, yes, but most importantly, the Egyptian right wing speedster finisher Mo Salah no longer at Liverpool. I can't even imagine a Liverpool without Mo Salah, because we have seen Liverpool with Mo Salah for so long. I almost cannot imagine a Liverpool without Mo Salah.
Well, I think it's just about, I think, living when the ovation is loudest. For Mo Salah, I think this was the right time.
It was even coming
one season late,
but then
still not bad.
It's not bad. I think for Mo Salah, it's been a fantastic long years at Liverpool. I think he's done a whole lot. When he first came to Chelsea, when he first came to the Premier League to Chelsea from FC Barcelona, came to Chelsea, it looked like he didn't have any future in the Premier League. Now he went to AS Roma and he did very well. I think Liverpool saw that, they brought him to Liverpool, and from there on he's never looked back.
Now replacing Mo Salah. I remember when Sir Alex Ferguson had to replace Ronaldo, he said that you cannot get a player to replace Ronaldo. What you can do is get a couple of players that can offer you in bits what Ronaldo does. So he got a Berbatov that could score goals. He got a Valencia that could play right wing. So is that what Liverpool are going to try? They are going to try. Go for a right winger.
See, Liverpool fan, there's a perfect replacement for Salah. This is going to be very, very expensive. This guy is going to give them more goals, more assists, more creativity. But they are going to spend. No, Madwiki.
I don't have the sources. I'm not going to one discard them.
None.
But then replacing Salah, how is that going to be?
I think it's not going to be easy, honestly, because right now there are not too many right wingers in world football right now that are as elite as Mohamed Salah. And one thing is, that's why there have been talks about Liverpool wanting Diomande or RB. I think it's someone that also brings in excitement.
If he didn't have the image issue he had in England, I feel like the perfect or the closest to the perfect player that I would have thought would go into that position and do what needs to be done was missing.
Definitely. I think
he will get the goals.
Yeah, we'll get the assist as well. And even we could see that even in that Marseille team, it was like the third highest goal scorer in the league. So that shows
last season was joint top scorer.
So it shows you that it will bring you something in that league. And maybe Liverpool needs someone like Mason Greenwood. But then if you look at Yan Diomande too as well, he's not a bad winger. He'll give you goals, he'll give you assists. I think, but the issue here is the amount is being quoted for 100 million euros.
I mean, every half-decent player now is 100 million.
Yeah.
But then finally, the biggest. Let's talk about the champions.
I was taking Manchester City, but then
it was a beautiful moment yesterday. It was really beautiful. Even for rival fans, they will admit that it was a beautiful celebration.
I think that has been
to see
the best league celebration I've ever seen.
No,
I'll tell you some
that I've ever seen.
I'll tell you some reasons.
Forget. We don't see
better ones. Tell me.
For Manchester United, are you
which one?
Me?
Which one?
2007, 2008, 2009.
Better than this?
Yes, better than that.
Let me tell you some of the things.
They didn't even know how to celebrate. But
let me tell you some of the things that happened.
I've never experienced it before, so we understand.
All the coaching staffs were there. Despite the fact that it was an away ground. Calm down now. They didn't come with their mufti. They wore. Everybody was wearing an Arsenal jersey.
That's how with champions at the back. Yes.
No.
That's how it's done now.
Wait. No, calm down.
That's how it's done.
No.
So what were they going to wear?
It's not of that won the champions jersey.
So some wore a white kit.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But everyone still come out. It's not every one of them that got the medal.
Yeah, I know.
But everybody was there. And there was an image with every Arsenal fan that was on the pitch. That was lovely. Did you see the Aguilera's picture? Oh.
honestly, I can't really blame them.
Ah.
They are not 20 years. That's how it is.
Around
Long.
20 years. So Ojo Oloju, so I understand.
But then it's done now. Congratulations.
Thank
I mean, when Odegaard hoisted that Premier League trophy, I mean, I'm sure maybe some Arsenal fans will even tear up because it was a really, it felt like years of struggle finally. But then what's next for Arsenal now?
Domination. I'm telling you. No. See, let's talk reality. There's always an error.
You think this team is not tired because it felt like they had to pull themselves?
No, that is because you are trying to.
You think they can go
pass through? You are trying to pass through, and it's not always easy to have that breakthrough. But once that breakthrough is there, at times if you are not careless, let me put it that way. If you are not careless, our subsequent one won't be as difficult as this. I'm telling you, if Arsenal is not careless, because firstly, there's always an era when it comes to football. As a matter of fact, in Premier League, there was Ferguson's era, there was Pep era. So we're about to enter a new era now. And I think the person with probably the highest stake now, I think that has a very balanced team now in the league, that's Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
So if Arsenal are not careless,
and one way or the other, he has also become the most experienced.
yes.
You know,
So if
Alonso at Chelsea,
if pride is not
Manchester United, and maybe himself and Anslot.
So if pride is not setting in and we are not too careless, I think it should be a era now. I'm telling you.
Well, it is what it is. That's our review of the English Premier League. It ends with Arsenal as champions, Manchester City second, Manchester United third, Aston Villa finished fourth, and that fact means that there will not be 6 Premier League teams in the Champions League next season. If they had finished fifth, then it will have the place will have gone to the 6th. So Aston Villa fourth, Liverpool fifth. All those 5 are going to the Champions League, and we have AFC Bournemouth 6th and Sunderland 7th going to the UEFA Europa League, and we have Brighton 8th going to the Conference League. And when it comes to the relegation, unfortunately, West Ham, Burnley, and Wolverhampton Wanderers have been relegated. And here is the end of the 2025-2026 Premier League season. We'll see you next season.